how was your summer?
Summer was great. Speaking on the team in particular in the summer, I mean, the work that these guys did over the summer months I thought was incredible. I think it's one of the best summers that I've ever witnessed or been a part of, from a learning standpoint, from a growing standpoint, from the work that they did with our strength and conditioning team. And, they came in ready to go. Personally, it was fun to get away for a few minutes, but you're never really very far away. I mean, no matter where you travel to, your mind is always on what can we do to make these guys a little bit better at what they do.
Marcus yesterday mentioned consistency and trust. But in order to get consistency, you need cohesion. How do you balance cohesion and competition?
Yeah, I mean, it's a balance. You certainly have to put guys in situational football and see how they respond, right? And sometimes different guys may need different things so you can complete your evaluation of what the situation may be. But continuity is something, and consistency, I think, is something that you build over time. And it's banking a good rep on top of another good rep, and backing days up and stacking days up, and putting yourself in a position as an individual player first, that I've got my individual responsibility taken care of. I've got the knowledge necessary to execute what I need to execute, and then going out and doing it actually on the practice field. And those things shouldn't matter regardless of who's lining up next to you. Those are things you can individually take care of. So if you do that, then you give yourself an opportunity to get in there and play a little bit more.
When you look at the quarterbacks, what are the things specifically that you're watching for to try and determine where they stand?
Yeah, I mean, the same things I think that Marcus addressed everybody with yesterday. I mean, how do they operate within the framework of the offensive scheme? Do they understand it? Do they know where their problems are? What can we do to help them? Making good decisions with the ball. Being a consistent guy day in and day out that the teammates can count on to not only take care of the football, but to make good decisions with it. And, we'll make some strides as camp goes along. I mean, yesterday you guys got a chance to kind of watch practice. It was a little bumpy at times, but that'll happen sometimes, right? There's some feast and famine moments, especially early in camp. Until you kind of get your feet back on the ground and underneath you. And they haven't had a whole lot of live snaps where they could kind of experience some failure. And it was fun yesterday, even though it wasn't fun to see the turnovers. It was fun to see how their response was, where the next play, I think in either young man's situation, he bounces right back and makes an explosive play. So that's what you want to see, eliminate the turnovers, but have the ability and resiliency to be able to bounce back in tough situations.
Last year you were pretty open, and so was Riley, to the fact that as the year grew on and you guys got to know each other better and became more comfortable with styles, that it became easier to design an offense for him. How much time do you think that takes, and is there going to be that curve with your next guy here?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a different situation with Riley, obviously, because he wasn't able to go through spring football, and then was a little bit limited early in fall camp and in the summer. It was a lot harder for me to maybe get a better feel for him than I wanted to have headed into fall camp, so that those things could maybe be done ahead of time. The two combatants for the quarterback job this year are guys that have been here in the program. I think I've got a little bit better feel for not only how they think, but their strengths as players. And we're ready for whatever that scenario ends up ultimately being, to tailor what we do to what the strengths of those individuals happen to be.
You mentioned the yesterday you were using Jeremiah in the slot quite a bit, coming out of the two-back or other formations. You did in the spring, too. Wow. Did you watch anything from USC when they had Reggie Bush? Because it seemed very similar how you used him, and what kind of mismatches was he creating?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have to be in a position to take advantage of his skill set. And his skill set is wide-ranging, right? Certainly he's a very talented runner with the football in his hands, but there's really nothing he can't do on a football field, from running down as a gunner on the punt team and making a play, to throwing him a deep ball, some sort of option route, anything that we can do to kind of screen package, whatever that is, to try to get the ball to him a little bit more. I think it opens up a really large opportunity for us to kind of expand what we were a year ago and give some people some problems.
All right, what we got?
Gino, as you assess your two quarterbacks, how do you differentiate between just trying to get through a productive practice and also analyzing, all right, at some point I need to decide which one of these guys is going to be?
We're going to let these guys work for the body of training camp. I mean, we've got 4 weeks or so to the first game. We want to put those guys in as many situations as possible with neither one of them have starting experience and try to get as many game-like reps as we can and see how the guys respond and see how the team responds to them.
What are each of their strengths?
I think their strengths are very similar. Both the guys are really good in terms of their routine and their preparation. Both got really high football IQs. It means a lot to both of them. Both of them have a lot of arm talent. CJ's probably a little bit more vocal than Kenny is. Kenny's probably a little bit more athletic than CJ is, but all in all, we got two really good quarterbacks that are going to compete their butt off, and at the end of the day, when we do got to name one, that guy's going to be better because of this competition, and we're going to be a better team because of the competition.
Gino, following up on Pete's question, we saw practice, you saw the practice, but what are you listening for? What do you see that will help you determine?
Yeah, everybody's talking about the turnovers. I don't really sweat those. Practice is a time to make mistakes, and we got to figure out in practice what we can and what we can't do. Now, when you're in a quarterback competition, you got to make as many good throws and eliminate as many mistakes as possible, but those guys are also trying to figure out what they can and can't do. We don't want to wait until we go down the hard rock to figure that out. So as long as those guys are responding appropriately when things don't go well, that's part of the game, and that's an important part of playing the position is when things don't go right, how are you going to respond? Because the whole team is waiting to see your response.
One thing we don't see is what goes into the preparation for practice. Can you give us some insight in terms of how you are kind of leading this competition?
Sure. You're just saying from the player's perspective?
No, just preparing, getting the team ready to go and going out.
Sure. So every day we're going to have an offensive install that goes in that our guys are required to know. Some of it is new. Some of it is stuff that they've been doing for 2 years now in the system. They're going to be responsible for knowing the defensive install every single day. So we're not going to go out to practice and not know what the defense is installing. So as a quarterback room, we're going to go through the defensive install as well. We're going to go through the script for that day. They'll do that the night before, come in with any questions they have. And after that, it's come out, practice, and then go back in right after practice, review the practice, clean up any mistakes, talk about the things that we did well, and then it's on to the next install, on to the next defensive install, and those days just keep piling up.
How has CJ in particular grown in that ability to reload? He was just talking about how in the past it was harder to do. How has he grown in the time that you've known him?
Yeah, I told CJ, coming out of spring ball, CJ plays with a lot of emotion, and that can be good. But we don't want to be emotional. And, when things are good, he gets really high. When things don't go good, he can kind of go, take it hard. And he's just got to learn to play. Coach Freeman's always saying one play, one life. You got to have a quick memory at quarterback. Whether it went well or went bad, you got to play the next play.
You kind of mentioned it right there, but what's impressed you the most about the mentality of both of these quarterbacks?
Both the guys are leaders. Both the guys, you put them on most rosters in the country, they're going to be a starting quarterback. They're at Notre Dame, they're in a competition, and like I said, they're going to make each other better, and we're going to be a better team because of the competition.
Coach Freeman said that Tyler Buckner was itching to get back in the quarterback room and that he was kind of focusing on making the room better and himself better. What have you seen from him, and what does he bring to that room, and how can he help the guys get better? Yeah,
I asked him today, Buck, how you doing? You feeling back comfortably? Yeah, he's like, no. He's like, I've learned a lot in these last 2 days. So I think he's still finding his feet in our room and kind of behind center. But he's a smart kid. He'll catch on quick. He's got starting experience, and last year he earned his way back on the team, working with the wideouts, working in special teams, and now I think he's back in his comfort zone in the quarterback room. He's an asset in our room, and he's going to make our young guys better. He'll be able to help CJ and Kenny through this process.
Coach Denbrock mentioned this summer that the offense was further ahead than it was last year. How does that allow you to push your room?
Yeah, I think just now you can focus on the details, right? You're going through an install, you're kind of giving them the base install. Those guys are so far past that you'll still do that for the young guys in the room, but now you're getting into more details and hey, here's what we're going to do with our eyes, and those guys are so much more advanced than just pre-snap understanding what the defense is doing, what's the look I'm going to get, how am I going to adjust the protection, is my route concept conducive, do I need to tap this out, where's my check down if it's not great, how am I going to manage it? And it's just like refreshing as a coach to have two guys that are in the headspace that they're in and kind of, along second year in the offense, like they're way down the road of where we should be at this point in training camp.
Kind of going through camp healthy and getting some of these first team reps too, I guess how much does that build your confidence coming into this year?
Yeah, a ton. Obviously, just want to say it's an absolute blessing to be back here. Doing a sixth year was something that took a lot of, discernment. So honestly, I feel so blessed. Every day I take this field, I take it with confidence, knowing that, hey, I've been here before, I've done this before. Maybe it's been a little while, but I know what I'm capable of. And before I step on the field, I thank God for this opportunity. But yeah, being out there, I feel great, healthy as I've been since I've been here, really my whole life, and I feel great. So yeah, it's great, just day by day, one rep at a time, getting better and better. That's kind of where my focus is at, just one play, one day at a time.
Kevin, you've been through a few off seasons here. I guess why could this team be special?
I think we're as close of a team as any of the six I've been a part of. Even with kind of the landscape of college football where you got guys coming in, guys leaving, just different guys coming in and out constantly, this group does a great job of welcoming everybody. And you could ask some of the transfers, some of the freshmen, they feel part of this thing from the second they walk in here. And so I think just with Coach Lando, the program he puts us through in the offseason, we're in great shape. I mean, we could play forever, right? We could go. So I think it's a combination of just the work we've put in with Coach Lando in the offseason through spring ball, and then also just the culture that we've built here at Notre Dame.
And I don't know if we're going to get to talk to you before Miami, but what does that game mean to you and your family that you and your brother are kind of be on the same field?
Yeah, it's weird. It kind of hasn't hit yet, but definitely surreal. I mean, I love my brother to death. Would do anything for him, and just to have this opportunity, right? You think of moments in life that don't happen very often, and so my family's jacked up. My whole family's going to be there. We got a ton of people coming in, but just really surreal, right? I'm so proud of him. We've always worked together. We've always been best friends, brothers, so it's I can't believe it. It's crazy.
Another year.
Marcus Freeman talked about trust. Now at fall camp, you have to re-earn your trust. How do you do that?
But like I said before, it's just coming to work every day, and whatever play you're in, that play, right? That's the most important thing. So you got to get the O-line to trust you, the quarterback to trust you, the running backs to follow your blocks. So it's a process. Earning trust is a process, but you do it every second of every day in that moment. So it's hard to not look ahead. It's hard to not look in the past, but it happens, right? That play, like this exact moment, is where I'm earning this trust, and just keep going.
Tight end room is very deep. How is the tight ends changing the dynamic of that camp?
Yeah, I think, like you said, we have a very deep room. We have talent all over the place in the run game, in the pass game. We got a great group of guys above all. Guys that you want to go to battle with, guys you want to play with. But yeah, I think we come out here every day. We set the tone. We're a disciplined group, and we're out there learning. We're out there building trust, just like everyone else is. But we take pride in being tight ends in Notre Dame, right? TEU. So we take pride showing up every day, putting in the work, coming out here practicing.
What do you think that first moment in the game will feel like for you after everything you've been through? Obviously, getting back to practice is a big step, but when you step on the field for that first time in an actual game action, what do you think that moment will feel like?
Just very blessed, right? Like it's taken a lot mentally, physically to get back here, and a huge. That's a huge thanks to my support system, my family. I have incredible family, incredible friends, incredible girlfriend who push me every day, who've been a part of this, getting me back to this moment. So when I do take the field, I do it for God, and I do it for those people in my life who are essentially suffering with me. So that's my mentality when I take the field. I'm doing this for them. I'm doing this for those people who've helped me get back to this point. So, I can't wait, but hey, it's a long ways away. I really try and I'm taking it one day at a time.
What's the most valuable lesson that you kind of learned throughout the off season?
Yeah, definitely. In life in general, but with football, I found my biggest thing is staying present. Right, you got a ton of stuff going on in life, in football. but this is kind of some of the stuff I've been through. It's easy to look back and think, what if? It's easy to think, what am I doing? It's easy to think about the future, right? But I've really, I've put a lot of work into trying to stay present, stay in this moment. A lot of that I do through prayer. Prayer is a huge part of my life. And again, that's a huge shout out to my family, to my girlfriend, people who I pray with every day, people who've taught me how to pray and kind of just drill these things into my head, right? So honestly, how I do that, I tell God I'm surrendering myself to Him, and I ask Him to please take care of everything. So that's something that to me is huge, right? Takes away that anxiety, takes away that worry. So in life and in football, my biggest lesson has been, hey, what can I do right now in this moment to get better in whatever asset of my life? So that's important to me.
Awesome. Thanks,
How are you building?
Last one. Go last one.
How are you building trust with CJ and Kenny? Is there anything you guys do off the field to kind of stay in sync?
I think just constant communication. Like, hey, we're obviously out here on the field for a few hours practicing, but in and out of meetings, we're talking, hey, what'd you think here? What'd you think here? So obviously just constant discussion with football, constant conversation, asking questions, trying different things. Like, hey, is this going to work? What about this? What about that? That's a big part of it. But also then just away from football, building that relationship. Hey, sharing laughs together, sharing stories, whatever it might be, just talking, right? Away from football I'm a big believer if you have a relationship off the field that it helps to build your relationship on the field. So if we're laughing with these guys, we're spending obviously 13, 14, 15 hours a day together. So just building our relationship, constant conversation, having fun with it. Then obviously just putting in the work out on the field is how we do it.
What's it like to be a married man playing football?
It's been awesome so far. My wife's been extremely supportive and super helpful at home she's super understanding, and it's been an awesome experience so far having her here with me. So,
Eli, what's just kind of your mindset entering this year, just knowing like you're the guy?
Yeah, I would just say I'm coming to the mindset with nothing to lose. I'm just going to go out there and play my game, and I've had football stripped of me, and I'm aware that it can be taken away at any moment. So I'm going to play every snap like it could be my last. So yeah.
And then what are just your first impressions of Ty Washington and James?
Yeah, they're going to be really good players, moving really well. They both value blocking. Just getting in there and learning the offense, and they've done a good job so far. It's only day 2, but they're doing a really good job so far.
Kevin obviously has been in a similar position as you in terms of missing time over the years.
Yeah.
How do you guys feed off of each other in that regard, of that passion of wanting to be out there, and how does that help maybe the room as a whole?
Yeah, Kevin obviously went through the same thing as me. We got really connected and bonded over our injury, and we're both aware of the fact that football can be taken away from you at any moment, but our camaraderie and friendship has really grown, and we've kind of brought all the tight ends in, and we've developed a really good friendship with all of us, and I would say we're a really connected position group, and it's been it makes it so much better to be at football with those guys. So
last year at this time, you were feeling healthy, you were excited, you were ready to go. What's the difference now, a year removed from that, to take that next step to the next level?
Yeah, I would say it's year 2 under the offense, and I'm a lot more confident than I was last year, and my mindset's a little different. I'm less worried about what might happen, and a lot more comfortable under the offense, and I just feel a lot different out there. So it's been awesome.
Eli, it's a very deep tight end room. I asked Kevin this question: how is the dynamic of this tight end group really set the tone for fall camp, and how is it kind of leading the offense?
Yeah, I would say we all have a drive. We're all very hard workers, and we all push each other to go even harder, and it's a healthy competition going on here, and off the field we're super tight, and it makes football, like I said, really fun for us.
We always talk about you catching the ball, but how's your blocking going?
It's going well. Just focusing on my footwork, making efficient steps, and getting my pad level low. So I'll just continue to work on that through camp.
What's it like being around CJ and Kenny and seeing them throughout this entire process?
Yeah, they've both done an awesome job of trying to lead and being more vocal, and I'm really excited for what they're going to bring. I think they're both great players, and whoever it is will do a great job.
Eli,
Last question.
How does what you guys were able to accomplish last year and also what you weren't able to accomplish impact your confidence and maybe motivate you guys this season?
Yeah, obviously losing the national championship games, can't really ask for a better motivation and, kind of an anger to get out there and get revenge. So I would say that's a really motivating for us. And, I think we have just as much talent, maybe even more talent, replacing the guys that left. And I think we all know what we're capable of, and we're super excited. So,
Ty, coming here from the SEC, what are some of the noticeable differences just in your short time here?
I say the community, to be honest. The community around here is great. The locker room, that's a big difference. At Arkansas, after practice, everybody would just leave 15 minutes in after you get back in for practice. Here, there's probably still guys in there right now just playing, talking, chopping it up, making sure you're okay, or playing ping pong or something like that, goofing around, and which I love that. Like, I'm a goofy person, so I kind of like that about this place. And the coaches are different. I just love it.
And learning this offense and working with Coach Denbrock, what is that experience like in terms of just trying to get better?
I got a long connection with Coach Denbrock, so I kind of like it, like finally actually being on the field with him. The offense is it's more complex than Bobbie's offense that I was used to be honest. It's a lot more things you can do. Bobbie's offense, one receiver knows what he's got a route. You know he got that route, you probably won't run that route. This offense, you could run that route, so you got to know what everybody else does on the field, and you just got to know everything, and I like that because it makes it more diverse.
Ty, for those of us that haven't had a chance to see you play a ton of football, how would you describe your strengths on the field?
I'd say my strengths is I can do both. I could be a Y, I could be an H for you. I can go down the field, or I could put my head and stick my nose in there for you.
How was that first practice yesterday? We saw there was one time where CJ seemed to try to communicate with you that you needed to run a different route, and they did move you around a lot yesterday in practice. What was that like for you?
To be honest, it was fun. I'm out there right now running around like a chicken with his head cut off a little bit, but I'm getting it. It's coming to me quick. It's coming. But on that route, I was supposed to. It's an option route, so me and CJ just got to get on the same page. But it's coming. It was day one. Today was day two. It's coming. Everything's coming together quick.
Who throws the best ball to make a good play? Is it CJ or Kenny, or who do you connect well with?
To be honest, they both throw the ball great. To be honest, they both spin it well. I can't really, it's day two, you really can't decide who spins it the best right now.
Ty, when you entered the portal outside of Denbrock, what kind of stood out about Notre Dame for you?
I knew Notre Dame was good. I knew they was a good team, and I knew they had a chance to be in the playoffs. So that was like a win-win at that point. I was like, okay, great. But the biggest thing was Denbrock and just the connection, the community here, to be honest. I got a lot of family, and it's wild to me. I got family back in South Georgia that are actually big Notre Dame fans, and I didn't even know it until I actually committed here, and they told me, and it's just a great feeling.
And then what's it like to finally get coached by Denbrock? Because, he talked about recruiting you at Cincinnati, and now you get to play for him.
Oh, yeah, I love it, to be honest. We got a long history, and I love playing for him, to be honest. It's easy to talk to him, easy to get along with him, easy to learn from him, and it's just great. He lets you do you and lets you be a player on the field.
Ty, obviously you guys are focused on Miami right now, but you've seen the schedule. You know it's a few weeks down the road. What's Arkansas going to be like for you, do you think?
To be honest, I just want to win. That's all I want. I just want to win, get that over with, and get a dub just like any other week, to be honest. I still got love for the fan base. I still got love for the players that's on the team. I still talk to them, to be honest. Just still got love for some of the coaches. I just want to get a win like any other week, to be honest with you.
James, not that you weren't familiar with Notre Dame, but what's kind of the first 2 months on campus been like for you?
It's been awesome. Just getting to know everybody. It's a really great group of people, committed to success, and it's been obvious to see that. And I've just been kind of looking up to older guys, getting the hang of things, and it's been a really fun process. But again, it's been challenging still.
And then how have the older guys kind of embraced you so far?
Yeah, everybody's just a great guy. They're looking out for their freshmen. They're getting to know everybody. So I feel already right at home. And kind of seeing the older guys' work ethic is rubbing off on me, and I'm just looking at them to get the sense of what to do.
How difficult is it to relate to the older guys? Because they're not just a year or two older. You got a married guy, and Bauman's like, 50.
Yeah. Yeah, it's actually been pretty easy, especially for tight ends. I feel like we're all pretty similar, kind of goofy, but it's been easy too.
What do you learn from guys like that have obviously been here for a long time?
Obviously they're pretty advanced, with what they're doing because they know, the whole playbook and everything. So me just coming in, I've gotten to, the whole playbook kind of not really dumped on me, but it's been challenging to learn that. But they've been there to help me, and they've been there for me to ask questions for them. They've been really helpful.
Coach Fleming talks about trust. You have to earn trust. Is this something new for you, having to earn the trust of a teammate or a coach?
No, it's not. Earning trust is not new. I think the big thing for me, or how I'm trying to earn trust, is just putting the work day to day. And if people see that, they'll know I'm a hardworking guy and I'm where I'm supposed to be. Again, vice versa for them. Like I see other guys working hard, they're earning my trust too. So it's kind of goes hand in hand with each other.
How would you describe the dynamic in the tight end room, and who's kind of like the voice or leader in that group?
I'd say the older guys are, like Eli, Kevin. They've been here, I think, the longest, so I've just been really trying to learn from them. I've been looking at what they're doing, like when to go out to practice, what we're doing on routes, how to block. And they've kind of, all of them have really been there for me. But again, older guys I've been looking at the most, I'd say.
What's the biggest thing you've learned from them so far?
Just kind of the overall way, I think coming in, there's a lot to learn. So I think everything I've been trying to, pick up on from them.
Has Eli shared some perspectives given the fact that he's kind of in a similar situation to you with the family ties?
Not really. I don't think I'm too aware of Eli's family situation.
Well, he had a dad who also played college football the same way. Have you guys talked about that at all?
No, we haven't. We don't really talk about that too much.
Anything else? Last question.
What has been the most difficult part for you to adapt to this new system?
I think just learning how to be a freshman again, because we're kind of going through high school. I kind of forgot about that, the feeling of it. But again, I'm learning the playbook and everything. That's just kind of the main thing I've been working on, just knowing what to do. And the most challenging for me is probably the sideline signals, because my high school is way different from that. So I've been really diving into that.
Kenny, how would you say the first couple days of fall camp have gone for you, and where are you trying to keep your focus with obviously the whole world watching to see if you can win a job?
So the beginning of fall camp, I say my main goal is to just come in and try and be as efficient as I can, and pretty much replicate what I did in the spring and better. And with the whole world watching, I'm not really focused on too much outside noise, but what I am focused on is trying to be as efficient as I can be and play good football.
What do you think are your strengths as a quarterback, and what are the things that might set you apart?
I would say my accuracy. I feel like I can put the ball where it needs to go. Most of the time, my decision making. Still working on that, and being able to extend plays. I feel like that's a plus as well.
Something that Coach Freeman mentioned yesterday was he was impressed by your mentality of reload, bouncing back. When you make a bad decision or a decision that didn't go the way you thought it would, how do you bounce back that quickly, and how do you kind of keep focused on improving?
I feel like it has part to do with just my foundation. I feel like I don't let football as a whole define me, so I'm definitely not going to let one singular play, whether good or bad. I mean, if it's a good play, that's great. I'm going to celebrate with my teammates, but I'm not going to let that blow my head up. And if it's a bad play, I know that's not going to define me as a person. So I feel like that is my foundation for not letting myself get too high or too low.
How's your confidence factor coming in this season? And you just seem like you kind of have a little more presence about you here. Do you feel comfortable, and where did you get that?
Yeah, I'd say it's definitely a little bit easier. Just from the past 2 years, having 2 transfer quarterbacks come in, where there's a little bit quarterback situation in as far as leading, but with this year, obviously, the coaches and the players are expecting me to step into that leadership role, which I feel like I've done a pretty good job of, but also a ways to go. So that's probably the difference.
You're always preparing as a quarterback for your opportunity, but what's the difference pressure-wise when you're out there in a practice where every rep truly can determine your future versus in the past where you still knew you were number 3 or 4 on the depth chart?
Yeah, in the past, I would have said the same thing I said now, just preparing like I am going to be the starter, because when Sam here, I remember he was telling me a story like when he played super early in his career. It's like you never know how it's going to go as far as college football, transfer portal, but also injuries. Like injuries happen every single day. So if you're a 3 or 4 and you're not preparing like you're the starter, I mean, you got something wrong. Okay. But with now, I mean, with this like quarterback competition or whatever, I feel like I treat it the exact same. I'm still trying to go out and make the best of every play. Not try to do too much and just try and play my game. So,
is there an uptick in emotion or pressure that you have to try to, properly tone down to be able to do that?
I would say no, because I just feel like I've been preparing for this my entire life. So, if I were to get nervous now, I mean, this is what I asked for. So, can't get too mad about what's on my plate.
Kenny, we've seen you the past couple of days, but one thing that we don't see is the mental aspect. Are you getting back into that starter mentality like when you were in high school? And how is that translating into the competition?
Yeah, it's just obviously played last year, but haven't like started in a game yet. So I feel like getting into that mindset is just preparing in a way to play, but then also having a confidence in myself and knowing that I can do it, and like reflecting on, like you said, what I've done in the past, what I've done in high school against like good competition, what I've done the past 2 years here playing against like the best defense in the country. It definitely helps a lot. So
what has gone on at Notre Dame that has helped you mentally?
What is what?
What has happened with you at Notre Dame to prepare you mentally?
As far as on the football field, I would definitely say, as far as the football field, I would say the coaching staff, especially Gino. He's been here ever since I got here, well, for the most part. But he's, watched me grow from the bottom up. So as far as the football field, that. But then as far as like life in school, it's just like everyone in the locker room. Guys who have already graduated, guys who are on the team now, just being able to grow with them and learn from older guys and be able to, try and reciprocate what they did. So.
CJ, when you enrolled early, you got to learn a little bit and see Sam Hartman a little bit, and then obviously going through with Riley last year. What are kind of the biggest things that they've taught you about playing quarterback and now going through this competition?
I think the biggest thing I've learned from Sam and Riley, especially, I was around him a lot more than I was Sam, is just the way he carries himself, the way he leads, the way he treats his teammates is second to none. I haven't been around too many people that are just that invested in the team, and so I kind of hope to continue to take that into this next season.
What's kind of been the most challenging part of this entire process for you?
As in just
kind
ball?
of the quarterback battle, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's every day continuing to try and focus on it's you versus you. It's not me versus Kenny versus me. Just kind of trying to get better every day and not focus on the things you can't control.
How do you feel about a 2-quarterback setup?
That's not really up to me. It's whatever the coaches, come to think is the best way for the team to win.
CJ, what are your strengths as you see them right now, and where are you trying to grow?
I think one of my strengths is just understanding where to go with the ball and what the defense is doing. I think I've grown a lot with that since my first year here. I think another strength is just the relationships I have with my teammates. I think those are the guys that the quarterbacks and the coaches get all the glory, but it's really the line and the receivers who are out there making all the plays. So just giving the credit to those guys.
CJ, there's some borderline crazy stories about you going out of your way to get extra work in. Where does that drive kind of come from?
I just think just wanting to be great and wanting to win here and wanting to win this battle and then beat Miami is the main things that drive me.
CJ, let's talk about that battle mentally. Last year you were learning, now you're back in that starter mentality. What are you bringing from that starting mentality? What have you learned here that will help you in your mental process?
Yeah, I don't think the mentality has changed at all. I think it's more of continuing to learn. Like last year I was a learner, I guess you could say, and this year I kind of want to be the same thing and just continue to get better every day and come in here with energy, high energy, and just continue to work on my craft.
And what part of your game has improved the most?
I'd say, like I said before, just the understanding where to put the ball and then continuing to work situationally. What do we want to do with the football? We're doing a lot of 2-minute drills out there, and I think those have been really helpful with just, what's the situation? What's the down and distance? Do we need 7? Do we need 3? What's the time? How many timeouts do we have? Situationally.
How hard is it to block out the outside noise as quarterback?
Not hard. You just delete social media and don't look at it.
CJ, what did it mean to have the quarterback room, Ian, Book, and Riley go to Chicago to help support you and your family's foundation?
That was awesome. That was awesome. I had not heard much about Riley's foundation, and I thought it was great to be able to get out to Chicago and not only help my family's foundation, but also Riley's foundation and spread awareness for both of them. And it was great to see Ian out there who's done this and been here and gone through the ups and downs of being a Notre Dame quarterback, and then just kind of everyone clicking together, telling stories was awesome.
And then have you connected with Ian this summer with him being in town?
Yeah, absolutely. He's come out and thrown with us a few times. He's been in the weight room with us, and then we've been able to pick his brain on different situations he's gone through.
When you do make a mistake out there, how are you able to reload, as Coach Freeman said you guys were able to do yesterday in particular?
Yeah, I think that's something I've struggled with in the past. I'm a very competitive person, and when it doesn't go your way, you want to know why right away. And the issue is when you're out there in the second period of team and you throw a pick, it's like you don't have time to go out and watch the tape. You got to go play the next play. I think that's a place I've grown. And yesterday, we had a bunch of turnovers in the quarterback room, but I think if you looked at the overall picture, we had a lot of explosives from Kenny and I both. The receivers look good, the backs look good, and I think that's attributed to just being able to reload and play the next play.
So kind of being forced to move on is a big help?
No, because you could just sink, right? You could let your mind go somewhere else when you do throw the pick, or let it just fester. And so it's a conscious thing. It's not something that just automatically happens. You got to work on it. I think everyone on our team has been improved with the word reload that Coach Landau and Free has brought to the team.